As Tom tells, and tonight we have two special guests from Special Olympics. I'd like to have them introduce themselves tonight. So,
I'm Debbie Horn. I'm the Director of Communications and Marketing with Special Olympics Connecticut.
and you are?
I am Angie D'Amico. I'm an athlete, global master, and a Special Olympics staff member.
Let's start off by you telling me a little bit about Special Olympics, the history, maybe the mission statement.
Okay, well, Special Olympics started, it was founded by Eunice Kennedy Shriver back in 1968, so we just celebrated our 50th anniversary. And it was a time when people with intellectual disabilities were cast away. They, were isolated, institutionalized, and Eunice Kennedy Shriver had a sister, Rosemary, with intellectual disabilities. So having a member of her family and seeing how she was shunned by society, but yet she possessed all these abilities and desires, and she wanted to be involved in sports. So they would participate in sports together. And soon after, Eunice Kennedy Shriver started having a camp in her backyard and invited people with intellectual disabilities to come together and participate in sports, and saw what it would brought out in them, the happiness, the joy it brought to them, and it demonstrated what they could do, that they could compete in sports, that they could enjoy sports and be social with their peers. And so from that, she held the first national games, or the first Special Olympics games, at Soldier Field in Chicago in 1968. And from there, it's just grown. Now we have millions of participants. Right here in Connecticut, we have over 12,000 athletes and what we call unified partners, because now we have a program called Unified Sports that brings people without intellectual disabilities together on the same teams with people with intellectual disabilities. So today we're all about inspiring inclusion and acceptance for everybody, recognizing that everybody has capabilities and the same desires to be part of a sports team, or to go out and make friends and eat with them at the lunch table and go to parties at schools and everything like that. So it's really evolved from this organization that originally was to serve people with intellectual disabilities, to help bring them out and demonstrate what they can do, and it's really evolved to become an organization for everybody who enjoys sports, or everybody who just wants to come out and be part of something social and big and exciting and fun. So it really has become an amazing force, here in Connecticut, across the country, and around the world, to change people's lives.
Are the Kennedys still involved?
Yes, very much so. Actually, Tim Shriver, who is Eunice Kennedy Shriver's son, is our chairman. So he's in our office in DC, and he oversees Special Olympics around the world.
What's the mission?
We provide sports to people with intellectual disabilities, to give them opportunities to compete with their peers, and to just have fun, and to be part of something, and to kind of bring them into the fold, bring them into society, and show what they can do.
Now, I know there's an office in
Hamden.
Are there like districts, or what would you call them, all over the state?
Yeah, well, we have one state office. We used to have regional offices, but now we're just in one location. It's more efficient that way. We kind of work as a team. But we have 75 local programs throughout the state. So in each of those programs, and they're scattered around, most of the towns and cities throughout Connecticut has a Special Olympics program, and most of them are run by volunteers. Some of them are run through agencies or schools, but that's where our athletes get involved. So that's where they sign up with their local program, and they'll train in their own community leading up to our events. So they'll train, say for example, in soccer, and they'll train for 8 to 10 weeks, and that'll qualify them to participate in our state games and other different events with a bigger group.
What sports, say in the summertime, do they play?
So we have 26 different Olympic type sports that we offer throughout the year. We have 4 state games. So most people know us by our summer games, which is our biggest event. We probably have over 2,000 athletes that participate in our summer games, athletes and unified partners. And it's coming up, they're going to be participating in soccer, in swimming, in
Track and field.
Tennis. And tennis. And I think that's all of them, right?
I feel like they want more. But
Cycling. So you say cycling.
So that's coming up?
Yes.
Do you know the dates?
June 7th through the 9th.
Where is it?
there are different events. So track and field at Southern, soccer is at Hampton Hall Country Day School, cycling move event.
Yeah,
Right?
so it's going to be it's going to be at Yale West Campus in Orange this year. That's where our cycling event will
And
be.
swimming at Southern.
And we're going to have some track and field events again at Yale Track in West Haven this year too. We're going to have some track and
And
field
what was the
events
date
there.
again?
June 7th through the 9th.
Tell me about the Winter Games. What are the different sports? Is there cross country?
Winter Games is snowshoeing, skiing,
Power
Ba-
gymnastics.
gymnastics, floor hockey, I'm missing one.
Skating. So we do
Skating.
speed skating and figure
Now, they all
skating.
go through these similar programs, a couple of weeks, or like you
Right,
talked
so
about
they'll
before?
train. So there's 4 different seasons, and athletes can participate in a different sport each season. So they can participate
So
throughout
they could
the
do
year.
all 4?
Yeah.
Wow, that's really
Yeah,
interesting.
they'll just do one sport per season. So you can actually train in 2 sports, but you can only compete in one each season.
Age groups.
Oh, we have athletes
Like from like 8 to
80?
70s. You
70.
can
Wow,
participate
that's
as
pretty
long as
cool.
you'd like to. Yeah, and so that's why we have divisioning events and qualifying events. So we put, appropriate individuals
Ages.
competing against.
So do you get a lot of media to
people.
cover that?
We're very fortunate. We have wonderful, wonderful partners in media. NBC Connecticut is one of our partner sponsors.
iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio. They come to a lot of our events and are very supportive. And really all the TV stations and radio stations around the state are involved in different fundraising events and different activities that we hold throughout the year with our different local programs even. But we are so incredibly grateful for that because it really helps to spread the word, spread the joy, puts the focus on the athletes, which is really great. They'll come out and do interviews, and that's always wonderful too.
Is it all funding?
Yes, we're funded through individuals. We're funded through a lot of corporate donations. So we'll have like a lot of corporate teams. They'll sponsor an event, and then they'll have some of their employees and the employees' family members come out to an event and volunteer. There'll be timekeepers or athlete escorts or serve lunch or
That's
something
under
like
the
that.
volunteer
So-
program
Yes.
that I did one year.
Yes, you did.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
It is.
we have more than 10,000 volunteers that would be involved within
And
a
I got a
year's
T-shirt.
time.
Hey!
There you go. And you get more than a T-shirt. You really get
It's
the feeling
awesome.
like you.
Boy, the heart.
I spent the
Yeah.
whole day with that person. It was so great.
Yeah.
I'm in sports and martial arts, but just to watch them, it's so great. And I love the program that Special Olympics is doing. Is they're getting their own people to tell their own stories.
Yes.
That is so dynamic.
Yes, absolutely. Well, the
so
athletes,
great.
they're the ones. They can talk from experience what it means to them, how it's helped them overcome bullying or different challenges or, physical challenges or just help gain self-confidence or just, have peers. Maybe in school people didn't understand them, but now there's a unified sports program in their school and they're playing, basketball with other students and now they're being invited to sit with them at lunch and being invited to birthday parties and go to the movies together. So it's using sports as a platform to change lives for people with and without intellectual disabilities, because a lot of times you hear the people who don't have disabilities and they're interacting playing sports with those students who do have disabilities, and they decide to go into education and become special education teachers or work in a corporation and hire people with intellectual disabilities. So it really changes people's mindset and it really helps people understand just the potential and the promise that people with intellectual
So
disabilities
there's a
have. We're
tie-in
all the
between
same.
employment and schooling for them?
I think ultimately in a lot of cases, because I think what Special Olympics does, it provides people with confidence and it helps people who are not disabled see that people with intellectual disabilities have the same desires and the same promise and the same abilities if given the opportunity. I think sometimes you just need, like anybody else, if you could give somebody an opportunity and they have they want to learn and they want to accomplish something, they have the drive to do it, they can make it happen. So, instead of looking at people's limitations, it's looking at what's possible, and that's what's really exciting about it.
What got you started in this?
Me personally, I'd worked in nonprofit before, and I didn't know that much about Special Olympics, and some of my friends were like, you should really get involved with this organization. It's really something special. And I think for me, it's one of those experiences when you get so much more than you give. I mean, I've made so many dear friends with the athletes, and what's wonderful to see is athletes stay involved. It becomes part of their life. They're involved for 10 years, for decades. So, it doesn't stop. It just keeps growing and getting better. So for me to kind of have friendships, with other staff people, with athletes, with the volunteers who all have amazing hearts, with everybody who's part of the organization. I mean, everybody's there just to bring joy and share joy and just have a wonderful experience together. And I think once if you volunteered, I think once you go and you feel what it's all about, it's kind of a feeling you get. And
I told a couple of people at work, I went, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
So I think I got like 3 coming next time.
Wow.
So what do you actually do down there?
I'm the director of communications and marketing, so I have the privilege of working with a lot of the media. I do some of our social media. I work on our website. I do the newsletter, the annual report. I actually am a mentor for one of our global messengers, which has really been a wonderful opportunity. But the great thing about Special Olympics, it's like the teams that we work with. We're all, we all work together. We're a team, so everybody's kind of helping out in some capacity. When Summer Games weekend rolls around, it doesn't really matter what your title is. You're just kind of pitching in where they need a hand, and everybody just kind of works together, just like a sports team does.
She's with us in Toastmasters, and one night she brought one of the videos. Mm-hmm. Those are powerful.
Yeah.
Those are powerful videos. That makes you go, yeah, I want to help out right away.
Yeah.
It's really great for that. Angie, my friend, how long have you been connected with Special Olympics?
I have been involved since I was 8 years old. Since I was 8.
And what do you do now for them?
Right now, I am an athlete, global messenger, a health leader, and a Special Olympics staff member.
That's all you do?
Yes.
That's like 4 different things. So are you
does a lot.
dealing with the kids right one-on-one?
Not one-to-one because I am volunteer.
Okay.
But my job as a Special Olympic, I am the leader of the health team, which is basically global messenger or any athlete on the health team that talks about health and getting the word out there about health, because Special Olympics is not all about support. We are trying to get the word out about health because health is so important to our athletes that there is actually a weight that a lot of athletes and people with disability are overweight. So we are trying to change that number to make people aware of what you eat, what you drink, how much should you be eating, a portion size, like all that information that I think every athlete should know about.
Okay, that's the physical side, right? What do you do to keep them positive and motivated? What programs do you have for that?
We have Fit 5.
Which is? Got you on the spot now, I gotta explain it.
Fit 5 is a program that they teach you to drink 5 bottles of water every day. They have a thing called My Plate, which is have your plate a veggie and your portion size of meat and your portion size of grains, right? Mm-hmm. And dairy. So you need to eat that every 5 times a day. And also in Fit 5 you element this every practice. They will learn different exercise to do during practices, and that a lot of people who have done Fit 5 have lost their weight.
Okay.
Their weight. So we actually started they do park. So we just, whoever completed the first section have the next one to complete.
Do a lot of the athletes stay year after year?
Yes,
That's-
definitely, without a doubt. I also feel when you involved, you would never get out because it's such a big impact on everyone who is involved. The other thing is running. I love to run. And I love playing soccer, but I think running and being physically active is really important too.
Well, I happen to know that you have a story
I do.
you could take a few minutes to tell us. And I've heard it before, so I would you like you to tell us again?
I don't know which one.
So where have you been? You've been to the World
Oh,
Games?
yes. In 2013, I've been to Ireland for the World Games to play soccer, which I love soccer. Apparently, we did not win. We came allowed to play, but hey, it was a crazy experience. And then in 2014, I went to the National Games in New Jersey for the national final leg of the law enforcement Georgia one, which was basically my best experience ever. I had so much fun. The law enforcement Georgia one is a one with police officers all around the state that carry the torch all around, and the police officers won with the athlete for a certain, I think, all around the state. So my Georgia one in Cheshire is Friday afternoon with the Cheshire officer, but also we have the Cheshire correction officers do one with us too. So we won from Southern Line to Hampton Line, which is about 8 miles, but I don't want the whole 8 miles. I want about like 3 to 4. Okay, I can't run that fast.
You're right down Route 10?
Yeah, definitely would that. You can definitely see it. You can beat your own horn. We do love the support from our town. We put it on our community page, and we do try to support it.
Now, could this actually be the torch?
I literally got this torch when I came home from the law enforcement torch one from New Jersey.
That's yours?
Yes, this is
Wow.
actually mine. Everyone on the team gets one. Every time you compete in the law enforcement torch one final leg, you get one. And I would love another one because my main goal is to be in the World Games final leg of the law
that's
enforcement
cool. That would
torch
be
one.
cool.
I would love that. I had so much fun in New Jersey.
Are these things really lit up?
Yes, but I'm not too ready to go to lift this one up.
Oh, okay. You got a couple other stories, don't you?
Yes, actually, here is really funny. Here, you guys won't believe this, but when I first started the Georgia one, I was completely shy. I did not talk. And then Special Olympics have brought me out of my shell and made me speak, let me speak my mind, have more advocation, do my self-determination. No one ever believed that I was shy at the beginning, but a police officer and his wife actually works with me and Debbie. He can definitely say that I was completely shy, and now I don't want to shut up.
Okay. We have the logo up on the screen. Can you tell me about anything about the logo? You know how they designed it or what the background was behind it?
I don't really know too much. I mean, I think it's just, kind of hands open to kind of, bring everybody together, just a circle of everybody coming together, and I think it kind of symbolizes the globe of, we're around the world, but I don't
We
really
call
know
it
the
the
history or the Special Olympics symbol, but everybody knows it when they see it, so that's great.
How does somebody volunteer?
I would suggest that they go to the website, soct.org. We actually have summer games coming up, so there's a lot of great opportunities for people to help out. Come for, the morning, the afternoon, come all weekend. Just helping out at the games, helping to serve meals, keeping times, making sure the athletes get where they need to be in time for their competition.
The time I went, I got a free hot dog. That's my thing. That and a T-shirt.
Excellent. We do have the 4 venues, and people can get involved and become coaches too. They don't need any training. We provide coaches training for people that are interested, so they can coach for their local program if they have a particular sport that they're interested in, they enjoy. That's a great thing to become involved in, and they can, coach a sport throughout the season. So say if they want to coach sailing in the fall or powerlifting in the holiday sports, right?
If I got it right, you could go on the site and check off what you want to do.
Yeah, so there's if you go on soct.org and click the heading Get Involved, it's a pull down menu, and there's opportunities to be volunteers there, or even there's a ribbon right on the homepage. It just says
it's really easy for guys like me.
Super easy.
Really easy.
Absolutely.
Okay. You told me the big one in the corner there.
Yes.
Okay. Or they can call us or email us, however people would like to get in touch. We'd love to hear from folks. We're always looking for volunteers. They're the heart of our organization. They make it all happen.
That's why I wanted you guys on the show. I want people, especially here in Wallingford, to understand it's a big thing.
It is.
The more people that know about it, the more help you need, the more volunteering you want to do.
And now that we have a partnership with the Connecticut Interscholastic Athletic Conference, and we have Unified Sports, which are those sports that bring athletes with and without disabilities together. We have Unified Sports in more than 95% of the public high schools, and in middle schools and elementary schools as well. So as a lot of time those students are graduating out of the Unified Sports programs in their schools, but they want to continue on with Special Olympics in their local programs. So say, if they're in Hamden, they want to join Special Olympics Hamden after they graduate and keep that going. So, we need the sports and the coaches rather, and the volunteers to kind of make those practices possible, so everybody who wants to get involved can be a part of it.
So a lot of the athletes, or some of them, have turned like you into becoming a mentor?
Yeah. Yes. Definitely.
That's really cool. It goes from that to this.
Yeah.
And
in our global messenger in our global messenger Germany, we try to teach athletes that they don't always need to be an athlete. They can be assistant coaches. They can be anything they want to be. I think that is very important, because when you first get involved, you automatically think, oh yeah, I want to be an athlete, but there are so many other opportunities that an athlete can do, more than being an athlete.
And again, that's on the website, that you could do various things regardless.
Right, yeah, and we have athletes who are on our board of directors, who are part of our
really cool.
games planning committees. So they really take a leadership role, as they should. I mean, they're the ones that should be directing the organization as it grows. And Angie is a fantastic example of that, especially with our health program. So we're really heavily into the health aspect of what we do. We provide free screenings for our athletes at summer games and our games throughout the year. So our athletes who may not have access to health care, who may not have health insurance, can go to summer games, and in between their competitions, they're getting their ears checked, they're getting their eyes checked, they're getting free prescription eyeglasses at our summer games that they walk away with that day. They're getting their feet checked, they're getting physical therapy. So a lot of the needs to help them perform better in their sports and also just be healthy all year round. And Angie's kind of promoting that for us and working with other athletes to promote health. And our Fitness 5 program that she talked about, we also have a Unified Sports Fitness Club where people are just coming together. They're wearing tracking devices. We had our Unified Sports Fitness Club cumulative, they've walked 1 million miles since the start of the club. So we just had a celebration of that, where people are just getting out and getting moving just to stay active and healthy. So we really appreciate this opportunity to talk about Special Olympics because I think people just think summer games or they just think sports, but it's so much more. So we
I
invite
want to go
people
back to
find
one
out.
thing. You went to the World Championships, and I've been to the Olympics trials. How many people were there worldwide?
A lot. I can't even tell you how many, but it was
Did you
amazing.
feel a whole lot different up there at that level?
When I went to the World Games?
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, I felt it was overwhelming, I think, for me. But I actually think when you in a different environment of the World Game competing and the law enforcement social one, it's definitely a different environment. A different environment.
So could you guys go over the website one more time before we close tonight? Tell us what it is.
www.socd.org.
Very good. I want to thank you both for showing up tonight. Now you're going to learn about Special Olympics, everybody, so pay attention to this channel. That's it for tonight. But remember what I always say, you got to look your best, speak your best, and lead the rest. Thank you and see you next week. Today's tip, your introduction, 21st century style. We're going to talk about how you do it, what you do, but most importantly, why you're doing it. The tips are going to be short, direct, and to the point. Let's talk about a standard introduction and see what it sounds like. My name is Tom Knowlton. I have an exciting career. I have a BA, an MBA, and a doctorate in neurolinguistics. I have a career in the military of 23 years, where I started as a private in the Marine Corps, switched over to the Army, and became a captain in the Army in charge of 350 people in 3 various positions of infantry, military, intelligence, and armor. I'm a 6th degree black belt and have been teaching for 51 years. In 1972 and 1976, I was on the Olympic trials for the United States. And that's how I started out my first speech. That's what we see standard-wise. That's not the way it's happening anymore. Folks, you got to understand, today everything is quick, under a minute, get to the point, and it's always about your audience. Did you realize that within the first 7 seconds, people make a decision whether they like you, trust you, or even do business with you, and you haven't even said a word yet? It's all about body language and first impressions. Because then you're in their perception, which is in the mind, they see it, they hear it, and feel it, because there are 3 learning styles, and every one of us have one over the other. Let me go over those 3 for you quickly here. The first is visual. Those are the type of people, like myself, that if you're going to communicate with me, I like to see it. I like to look at it. Show me a picture. We're very fast talkers. We learn by observation. The second category is auditory. Those are the people that listen. If you use words like I hear, that sounds good, I can listen, that's how they communicate. That's how you communicate with them. Their voices are more monotone, steady. The third is kinesthetic, the touchy-feely type of person. That's where the body language comes in. They talk in words like, I feel, I can touch that. Let me hold this thing together. Don't tell them, let them do it, and they are slow on making decisions. So if you connect with them right away in your audience, or in your sales, or in your marketing, it'll work right all together. Let's wrap this thing together, and let me show you the new version of an introduction. You're going to use action verbs. I am Tom Knowlton. I help present a shine in front of the audience. And today, I'm going to show you how the exact skills, techniques, and terms you need to make your presentation the wow factor every time. You're going to learn that it's not about a personality or a body style. It's about learning the techniques you use and learn here and use them every single time you give a talk, presentation, or speech. That's tonight's tip, and make sure you come back. This is Tom talking for Tom's Tips.